Good morning. We are Group M&G 24, Trevor, Audrey, Nick, and myself, Kyle. Today, we will present our strategic analysis of Starbucks in China. Our analysis focuses on how Starbucks can restore profitable growth in this important market while protecting the premium brand and customer experience that differentiate it from domestic competitors. We will begin by defining Starbucks' strategic issue and the central question guiding our work. We will then present our external analysis using PESTEL and the five forces, followed by our internal VRIO analysis and the SWOT synthesis. Finally, we will compare three strategic alternatives, present our recommendation, explain how it will be tested, and outline the implementation roadmap. China remains one of Starbucks' most important international growth markets, but the company's position has weakened. In the fourth quarter of fiscal year 2024, China comparable store sales declined 14%. More recently, customer traffic has begun to recover, but average spending per visit remains under pressure. Competition has also intensified. Starbucks operated just under 8,000 stores at its last reporting date, compared with Lunkin Coffee, which is just over 33,000 stores. The chart compares the combined store counts of these two companies. It should not be interpreted as total market share. Lunkin's scale, lower prices, digital convenience, and rapid product launches have changed what Chinese customers expect. Starbucks therefore faces two risks. If it protects its prices and traditional formats too rigidly, it may lose relevance. If it enters a broad price war, it may weaken margins and damage the differentiation that make the brand valuable. So this leads us to our central strategic question. How can Starbucks restore sustainable, profitable growth in China without eroding the premium positioning that differentiates it from domestic competitors? Our analysis evaluate both the pressures Starbucks faces and the resources it can use to solve that tension. Audrey will begin with the external environment.
Thank you, Kyle. Our PESTEL analysis shows that Starbucks' strategy must balance local responsiveness, affordability, digital relevance, and operational control. Politically, Boyu now owns 60% of the China retail venture, while Starbucks retains 40%, and ownership of its brand and intellectual property. This could increase local speed, but it also creates governance and brand control risks. Economically, slower retail and catering growth reinforce customer value sensitivity. Socially, customers increasingly expect convenience, localized flavors, and frequent product novelty. Technologically, mobile ordering, mini programs, delivery, and personalized promotions are basic competitive requirements rather than optional features. Environmental factors such as Arabica prices, water, energy, and packaging affects costs and legitimacy. Legally, Starbucks must manage privacy, food safety, intellectual property, labor, licensing, and vendor requirements within the joint venture. The overall pestle implication is that Starbucks needs faster, loyal execution and targeted value, but broad discounting would expose the company to financial and brand risks. Moving on to our five forces, we define the focal industry as branded chain coffee houses in mainland China. This definition treats Luckin, Coty, Manor, Tim's China, and similar chains as direct rivals, while tea, bubble tea, and convenience store beverages and at home coffee are substitutes. The threat of new entrants is medium high because smaller formats, partnerships, delivery platforms, and digital marketing make entry easier. Supplier power is medium because Starbucks' global scale provides leverage, although premium coffee, real estate, and delivery platforms still create pressure. Buyer power is high because switching costs are nearly zero and customers can instantly compare prices and promotions. Substitution is also high because many alternative beverages satisfy similar functions and needs, social needs. More importantly, competitive rivalry is very high because domestic chains compete aggressively through price, speed, localization, and store density. The central conclusion here is that China's industry structure makes an undifferentiated price war unattractive. Starbucks needs to create value beyond just discounts. Moving on, Nick will now explain what Starbucks can leverage internally and what capabilities it must provide.
Thank you, Audrey. Building on external analysis, we asked a critical question. Does Starbucks have the internal capabilities to respond? Our internal analysis identifies the strengths Starbucks should leverage, the gaps it needs to address, and ultimately the strategic direction that we recommend. Our VRIO analysis shows that Starbucks still has meaningful competitive advantages, but they no longer enough on their own. Its strongest asset remains its global brand and differentiated coffeehouse experience, capabilities that competitors cannot easily replicate. However, we also identified two critical gaps. Starbucks store network is no longer a source of differentiation in China, and its biggest weakness is digital engagement and local innovation, where domestic competitors constantly move faster. Finally, the Boo partnership gives Starbucks an opportunity to strengthen local execution, but the advantages will depend on successful implementation. When we combine these findings in our SWOT analysis, one message becomes clear. Starbucks' strengths, its brand, customer experience, and operating capabilities remain significant, but its weaknesses around value perception, digital execution, and speed are preventing those strengths from translating into stronger market performance. Our recommendation is not for Starbucks to compete on price. Instead, it should use its existing strengths while improving the capabilities that matter most to Chinese customers today. Based on both our external and internal analyses, we've evaluated three strategic alternatives against six decision criteria. While premium differentiation and store expansion each offer benefits, neither fully address Starbucks' most pressing challenge, improving customer value while protecting its premium brand. That's why selective value and digital convenience receive the highest score. It strengthens digital engagement and customer value perception without sacrificing the premium experience that differentiates Starbucks. Based on our analysis, this is the strategy we recommend. Trevor will now explain how Starbucks can successfully implement that recommendation. Thank you.
Thanks, Nick. We recommend a 24-month selective value and digital convenience strategy executed through four connected pillars that we call the China relevance flywheel. The first pillar is guardrailed value ladder. Starbucks should use targeted day part bundles and loyalty offers rather than permanent price reductions. The second is a China specific digital relevance engine that uses consented customer data, personalized offers, and improved retention. The third is faster local innovation. Cross functional teams should run shorter test and learn cycles and measure repeat purchasing, contribution, operational fit, and brand relevance. The fourth is convenience with existing stores. Starbucks should improve pickup flow, mobile ordering, and delivery economics before committing to widespread new formats. Together, these pillars make Starbucks more relevant without turning it into another promotion driven chain. For the pilot validation framework, we recommend beginning with 60 stores across three matched city clusters supported by control stores. The customer gate requires at least 4% comparable sales lift, a 6% transaction lift, and a 3 percentage point improvement in the 90-day repeat rate. The financial gate requires positive incremental contribution and no more than an 18-month payback for required investments. Campaigns that generate sales but destroy contribution should stop. The brand gate protects premium perception, coffee credibility, and full price purchasing. Operationally, stores should maintain a ready time below 4 minutes and order accuracy above 98%. The pilot must also comply with China's privacy requirements, preserve Starbucks brand rights, and establish joint governance. National rollout should occur only if at least two of the three clusters pass every mandatory gate, and the third passes the financial and compliance requirements. For the implementation roadmap, implementation occurs in 4 stages. During months 0 through 3, Starbucks and VRIO form the steering committee, establish decision rights, select pilot and control stores, and build baseline metrics. During months 4 through 6, the 60-store controlled pilot tests the offers, digital tools, local products, and operational changes. Management reviews results frequently and stops failing initiatives early. During months 7 through 12, successful practices expand to approximately 500 stores. Starbucks then validates whether the economics and operating standards persist at greater scale. During months 13 through 24, Starbucks scales only the initiatives that pass the earlier gates. Capital is allocated according to returns and brand health rather than store count targets, and any new store format requires separate approval. In conclusion, our analysis shows that Starbucks should not try to become China's lowest priced coffee chain. It should become the most relevant premium coffee choice across more customer occasions. The strategy protects the premium brand, strengthens customer value, and scales only what produces measurable results. We therefore recommend Alternative 2 through a disciplined, stage-gated 24-month program. Our board level request is to approve the 60-store pilot, the joint Starbucks VRIO governance structure, and decision rules required before broader rollout. M&G 24 wants to thank you for your time. We are ready to answer your questions.